All right, so it's 12:30. It's time for live prospecting. Now, I don't know where Mavis is, if she's here. Mavis got a $1.7 million listing from the prospecting that she did last week. We had other agents that got several listing appointments. We had people that are connecting with their clients or getting meetings or reactivating your database. Look, the best part about this live prospecting is you can ask me any message, any idea, any scenario, and I'm going to give it to you. Please make sure to be respectful of your colleagues in here that are actively doing things and put your questions, comments, concerns in the chat. It's not, I'm going to correct my team. It's not 24 business hours, which is actually 3 days. We try to get everything into the platform by the end of the following day. All right. Does anyone have a win to share from live prospecting last week to start out with? Drop it in the chat. Now, here's what happened. And it's like, it's really cool when you see like your vision come to life. At the end of the last session, as the session went on, there are all these different agents sharing. I did this and it worked. I did this and it worked. One woman shared this trash pile prospecting system where she circled prospects areas, asked the neighbors, like, what's their favorite thing about the community because they have buyers. And she goes, hey, if you feel comfortable doing this, would it be okay if you see anyone in your neighborhood there's like a big pile of trash outside, just letting me know? And then she goes and door knocks to them, handwritten notes and everything else. And she gets listings from it. I've never heard of this in my life, but apparently it works really well. One of my friends responded last week that she passed my name on to someone. How do I follow up? Renee, I would send a video and say, thank you so much for thinking of me. Would it be okay if you shared your friend's name so I could reach out directly, or you could just make an email or text introduction? I'd be very grateful. I love that, feeling confident putting myself out there. Can you please review the prospecting actions from last week? Prospecting is simple. You can call people, you can bulk email people, you can text people, and you can send videos through your phone or email. And lastly, you can write handwritten notes. Joyce, so if you're calling out of market owners, you could say, hey, it's Chirag, I'm calling from Compass Realty. I was just reaching out on a whim, right? The market has changed substantially over the last 24 months. I noticed you don't live in the area. Would it be helpful if I gave you a complimentary equity analysis on your home? That's it. Add value. Is there a number goal? This is really important. When you're starting a new habit, commit to the activity, not the outcome. Right. So for my friend in Newport Beach, I would be committing to 30 minutes of proactive income producing activities, right? Just reaching out to people and just having conversations. Just talking to people will make you money. And I will try to do this as I've done this on the last few calls. I'm going to try to talk everyone that wants to start geographic farming not to do it. This is not the year, not the market to start geographic farming. It has too many different variables. You need a 5 to 7% turnover rate. Are people living in their houses longer? Yes. Is there a lack of inventory? Yes. Do a lot of these people potentially have 3.5, 2.5% interest rates? Yes. It's expensive. There's so many other mitigating data points you need to look into. It's very time consuming. Spend that same money on people that you know. If you go to coffees, lunches, dinners, teas, throw events, like go back and watch Chris's session on the client event playbook. Use your client event playbook, right? Kate Bauer, a good client friend and coach here. She did a 120 person event, followed the system, and got $900 in profit that she donated to charity, but the entire event was free for her. 120 people free. Tom, if one of my rackets is reaching out to past prospects and even worse, past clients who I've been out of contact with, Even though I'm a salesperson, I hate feeling icky about being out of contact and now I want your business referrals. Okay, so Tom, first of all, they don't know that you were supposed to contact them, right? So if I can go through Mavis's playbook, she said, look, it's January. The first thing is like, hey, I like using it was driving by your house or walking by your apartment. I was just thinking of you. How are the holidays? I wanted like, how are the holidays for you? And I just want to wish you a happy new year and just be quiet. And the people just start talking. Do not in any of these calls, do not. Do you know for anybody that's looking to buy or sell, or do you know anyone that you can refer me to? Do not ever say any of those things. You guys are high-end luxury brands. Luxury brands lead by value. They create an experience, create the conversation that you want people to have when you're not here. So I just check in with them. Like, how's your family? How's work? Do you have anything exciting planned for the year? And one of the best questions is what's one personal goal that you have for the year that I could support you in? You get connected, and eventually they ask about you. And the only thing that you say is, I made a commitment to how blank 10, 20, 30, whatever your number is, families or people make a move in 2024. If you ever know anyone can help, please let me know. That's it. Put it in your email signature, say it on calls, and that's the only thing. These people know you're a real estate agent. All of these things. I want to be the top of mind realtor. I still don't know what a top of mind realtor is. I want to be the go-to realtor. What's a go-to realtor? I want to be a person that people think of because I care about my relationships and the experiences I give people. So therefore, they'll think of me. If a cold prospect doesn't reach out, send them a message. For most online leads or cold prospect, it takes 8 touches, but after 8 touches, just leave them alone. And don't put all these people in your database. If I had a 2.9% interest rate, I wouldn't want to sell my home either, Meredith. They're going to buy a house that's going to cost more money likely than theirs, and it's going to be double the interest rate. I want to be somebody who cares about people, that creates a great experience and stays in touch with people, that values relationships, so people think of me and want to share me with other people. I think property specific's good, right? Like another area that you could do is like take screenshot pictures of people's Zillow's homes, like a Zillow listing, and like point an arrow to the Zestimate and say, hey, I was just reaching out to you, not 100% sure if this is an accurate number. If you'd be interested in a complimentary equity analysis, I'd be happy to help. Right? If they're in expired listings, I would send them a letter that says, Dear Chirag, we see that your home did not sell successfully. Wanted to see if you're interested in still making a move and if you're accepting full price offers. That's the best line for an expired listener. I'm not interested in selling my home. Great. Are you no longer, just so I could take a note on my file, are you no longer accepting full price offers? Wait, and then the conversation goes, right? If I was writing a letter, I would be A/B testing. I'd write a letter that says, I guess you're allowed, one of the things that agents don't share, if the home doesn't sell successfully, they're going to be bombarded with 9 million phone calls, emails, text messages, violation of privacy, and all these different types of letters and postcards. That being said, are you still accepting full price offers for your home? And are you still considering making a move? But again, if you're in the expired listing game, you're in the follow-up game. So when they tell you call back in 2 weeks, cut the time in half. These people don't even remember half the conversation. Their phones literally ring all day and all night. And the only reason I could say this is as an agent, I've done for sale by owners. I've done expired listings. I've done door knocking, which is terrible here in the Northeast. I have done open houses. I've gone through this stuff, so I understand. I'll never forget, I called one guy. I said, I was calling about your house on 123 Main Street. And the guy just started yelling at me. He goes, cease and desist, cease and desist. And I just kept going in the script. I said, so are you no longer accepting full price? Cease. I go, look, sir, respectfully, I'm a real estate broker and I help people buy and sell used homes. Words like cease and desist are big words that sound legal that are far above my pay grade. He's like, excuse me? I go, dude, I help people buy and sell used homes. I really use the word dude. I said, dude, I help people buy and sell used homes. I had no idea what these words mean. And the guy started laughing. I actually got his listening. I don't know what this stuff means. So these are people at the end of the day. If you deal with expired listings, these are angry people. This is a person that somebody sold a dream to that was going somewhere at an unrealistic price of money that they counted on that never happened. And now 9 million people are calling them. How would you like it if I gave your number out to 100 different people and said, yeah, call and get them on the phone. They have $30,000 for you. Your phone's going to be ringing all day. You're going to be pissed. So, this is a great question. How do you approach people on LinkedIn? I would just reach out and I would say, look, I'm looking to build a network of people that I can refer people to. We do have clients that go through divorce and probate and some of these things. So if you're ever open to collaborating, love to grab coffee. You notice I talked about giving them business, not them what they can do for us. By the way, Melissa Rubin, she's an agent in Miami, Florida, and she has a whole niche in divorces. Like she wrote like a little cool ebook and stuff like that. So if you're in this whole divorce thing, I encourage you to reach out to her. Here, let me find this email template for you. Bear with me. Jim, the memo is make the calls. Calls, emails, texts, anything to people that you know to generate new business. Here's the email equity thing. It was an email that we wrote a while back, and it refers, homeowners gain $6 trillion. And it's an article from, I think it's from 2022. And so if you want to position this, the way that I would say is, I came across this interesting article from 2022, and the real estate market has changed a lot since then. So then you can start framing the conversation. You just edit it to make it your own. Okay, we updated the access, so anyone with the link can be a viewer. So let me just drop the link in here. Sean, is that you over there? The buy side commission? I love seeing you guys back in the room. I'm going to mute you. Sean, listen, for buy side commission, you don't even bring it up. It's the natural end of a good conversation that focuses on that. Right. So join tomorrow for our buyer's consultation. We'll walk you through how to do this.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll be here.
But you guys have to start doing stuff, right? Start calling people. I know you're not afraid to call people. Call people, email people, text people. The whole goal of this is that I could count on you all at least doing something for 30 minutes with me every week.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Very cool.
Douglas said, figure out where your clients are, who they are, and join as many different networking and social groups and just go and try to get to know as many people as possible. How much time should you spend on social media? Much less than you probably are spending today. If people took all the time that they spent on social media and just did it for their own personal development, you'd make significantly more money. I find the whole point of social media, yeah, like you need a strategy and plan to do things. But the whole reason that I go on social media, it's like I can go on there and I can connect with people, see what's important to them, right? For those of you like, well, I haven't talked to somebody in a long time. What do I do? Great, go on their social media and see what they've shared, because people on social media share things that are personal, important to them. Say, hey, Chirag, I saw that your kid did blank and blank. I just want to congratulate you. I'm sure it's a very exciting time for you. How are things going? And that's it. Just talk about them. I think the number one thing that people forget about this is you already have a relationship with these people. They're going to be happy to hear from you. They want to hear from you. And if they don't hear from you, they think all the things that you did and all that stuff about caring about them and the relationship was all for money. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. By not reaching out to them, all the things that you don't want them to think is the exact experience you're creating. All right, everybody, dial and email away. And when you have a question, drop in the chat and let me know. Thank you. Come here with your camera on. Can't see what you're doing if you have your camera off. Maybe that's by design, or look, they're business meetings. Come here ready to network and engage with people. Give people the gift of getting to know you and see you. So when we do have our get-togethers, they're like, oh my God, I see you on the screen all the time. But if you're a black screen, you're not going to have that experience with people. Douglas, taking the time to meet people is what you want to do. You could spend money on social ads, but again, that's a cold email campaign. Ah, Miriam, welcome to the party. Connecting with sports agents, you're going to have to go through meeting somebody through another connection. The thing to remain about sports agents is they have a lot to lose by referring people that they don't know. So like Thomas Atanian is a client, he's in sports entertainment. And he's like, he just had to follow up and follow up. Like you guys have access to all of our agent talk sessions. And he had an agent talk, so check his agent talk out. But he talks about how much he had to follow up, how many CMAs he had to do, and made this little niche in like multifamily investment. But like, so if going after sports agents what you want, be ready to wine and dine people, and that's a long-term aspect. I do some speaking for ex-NFL players in this pro athlete community, and even getting them, who I help the guy start the group, build his own consulting business, even getting them to refer you as a client, a coach, or anyone, it's very difficult, right? Athletes have really high standards and they have a lot of bad experiences when it comes to money. So if they just meet somebody on a whim and then they refer them and then it doesn't go well, the agent's getting fired. So figure out what your niche is, Marcus, and then relentlessly figure out how you can add value to these people. And figure out who you know that they know that can at least set up an introduction. and ask them, what would it take to earn your business? Yes, we're well aware that the article is from 2 years ago. So you just have to reframe the article, and saying like, hey, so this interesting article popped up from a couple years ago, and I was leaving my financial planner. It was really interesting about how much the market's changed. Would you like a complimentary equity analysis? Phrase it, put it in your own words. But the whole point of the article is to spur, as of like a year and a half ago, that people had all this additional equity in their houses. Douglas, do you know anybody in Hawaii? And then the other thing that I would do if I were you, Douglas, I would look online and see what the biggest feeder markets are for Hawaii. And I would take this live prospecting session to reach out to other Compass agents. Compass agents, especially if you're in the new market, is one of the greatest sources of referrals. So people that are moving there, where are they coming from? I know Chelsea Dim in Hawaii. Yep, me too. Angela, if the people want the equity analysis, set up an appointment. Say, happy to prepare, and I would love to go through it with you in person. When's a good time to connect? Look, Douglas is in a new market. Let's all reach out to him and show him some love, right? One of the things is, Douglas, when you meet an agent in one place, you're building a relationship with them and all the people that they know. So it's not always direct hand to hand, like they have a referral for me, but as people get to know you and they get to know where you work, they'll think of you. And meeting Chelsea is a good start, as she's in Maui. Probate sale prospecting, I would try to go to the attorneys. Like if you're calling people directly, it's like walking on hot coals. It's just a matter of when you're going to get burned. I've met some agents. It's, I would say the biggest challenge is one of the things that I saw in the past is people calling people that are actually going through these situations, and the people getting really angry and leaving really bad Google reviews on their Google business page. They're heartless. They're like, and you can't get rid of that review once it's there. Right. So you could spend an entire life building a brand. Look at Will Smith. You have one bad experience and there it goes.
All right, that's definitely valuable feedback for sure. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So Mike, I would tell these probate attorneys that I've run into clients in situations that I'm looking for an attorney that I can get to know and work with, where I can refer business to. When's a great time to have coffee? I'd reach out on LinkedIn and email, or I would call them if you can, but again, it's a numbers game. And the same thing similar with athletes, like it's gonna take, these are more long-term lead sources where you're gonna really have to take time to cultivate a relationship before people feel comfortable sending you their clients. And the question is what value can you add to them besides servicing their clients? So before people start probate attorneys, divorce attorneys, please make sure your actual databases of your past clients and your centers of influence are being taken care of. And the other thing is, when you get calls from lenders, right? Take the call. Don't shut them down. Say, hey, I'd be happy for the opportunity to collaborate together. If you could share a client with me and describe a good client for you, and I see that we're able to work well with them together, I'd be happy to share business with you in the future. Sean, the person's made it very clear what they want. Either you have what they want or they're not going to meet with you. And then I guarantee you, it sounds like their price, if I had to guess in scenarios like this, is overpriced, or they have a good price. Use the iPad to present, Julia. The black book is the leave behind. Yeah, overpriced. Don't, we're not chasing fairies here. So don't put all your energy into like these weird situations. I know it's appealing when you see a $3.5 million price point and it's exciting, but let it go. John, for the newer agents, that's such a great strategy that you shared. Reach out to busy people. Reach out to really busy single agents that don't have teams. I call it like, with our clients, I call it find the Tinder relationships, like people that you can date one off for different deals and scenarios. And a lot of people don't want to manage people in a team, but they're happy to build like these partnerships. Jess Sigmund's an agent in Westchester, good friend, great client. And she built her business and learned luxury real estate by just going to people. And she's like, Chirag, experience is worth far more than money. And she became reliable for all these top agents. And she learned the market, got opportunities. Sometimes she got leads, but she had somebody actually teach her a whole nother world that's very hard to learn. All right, everybody, we have one more minute. Anyone have a win to share? And a win could just be being in action for the last 15 to 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be a client, right? Getting in the action of doing things creates the possibility of something happening. Nice, getting good at handwritten notes. I love this. It's energizing. I guarantee you, once you get something out of this, it'll become addicting, like really addicting. Karen, that's a great win. Sent out emails. That's a win too. I set up a winter event for Compass Agents in March. I just got a referral and said it was because I put together the event and everyone, and he loves that. Community wins. I ate the frog and called folks. One actually told me he was getting my email and wanted to stay on, and I was going to archive. I just set an appointment with a new lead tomorrow afternoon. Boom. The Compass Black book is that black binded book that you could print out in the office with the, I don't know, that pressing thing. I don't know how to explain it. It's the book that everyone brings to their listing pitches. So if you lost a listing, they're going to say that you'll just ask them, what specifically could I do to improve where I would have had a better chance to be able to work with you? And see what they say. Some people tell you something, some people won't. All right, we're a minute past. As always, with love in my heart, I love you all. Keep believing in yourself. Stay in proactive action. And remember my guarantee, if you do something here once a week for the entire year, you know, they say luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity, right? So the more you continue to do this, the more lucky you'll find yourself. So I'll see you all tomorrow for the buyer's consultation. And thank you all for being here. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.